To drill or not to drill? I drill. Hey guys, welcome back to Props 88. If you notice, my R2 is a little lower. I took the bass off, but that'll be on our next video. So it's much cooler without the bass. Really easy to do. But excuse the background here. We're doing a lot of stuff, and this will all be in future videos. But today's video, our next mod is our restraining bolt. He has a restraining bolt everywhere. Almost all the pictures he has a restraining bolt. So we're going to do that. But this time we're going to do with the restraining bolt with a built-in button. So let me show you how I did it. Let's go over the restraining bolt real quick. Here's an example of one. Usually they have a magnet here, and you put that on his body and stick it, and supposedly it would restrain or restrict functions of a droid. Anyway, that's what it's supposed to look like. Here's ours. If you notice, this is 3D printed, and you'll see it has the middle part, but you can drop that out. That's where our button is going to be. And why are we going to put a button in there? Back of R2, there is a step pad or try me or press me button. And when you press this, it activates R2 to animate. But a regular restraining bolt does not have that. So what we're going to, drop that. We're going to add a button here. I'll show you how to do that in a little bit. And then when we push it, it'll activate R2. So in a sense, we have a good looking restraining bolt that has functionality. Now, it won't just be on him, it'll actually do something when we press it. That's the whole point of doing a restraining bolt. First thing we gotta do is make this look like this. This is 3D printed too, as you can tell, but it's weathered and painted silver and then a little black paint, acrylic paint. Well, we're gonna do the same thing to this. Let's do this pretty fast because this is pretty quick. We'll paint this to get all this to look like this, and then what we're going to do, I'm going to show you really quick. We're going to glue this to this. That's our button right there. And then this is designed, see this rim right here? Gets glued in right there. And then this, see the button in there? Boom. And then it's a simple momentary button. And this LED too, I like using these 16mm buttons over here because not only do they have, obviously it's a momentary button, but it has two other prongs on here. If I wanted to, I could have a LED light on. So if this was in like this, I could have this and you'd actually see a little red LED light if I wanted to, which just something else to think about. All right, let's get this to look like this. All right, first thing we got to do is mount this button in here. So you could just glue this here, but it won't. You might not get it in the center correctly. So what we'll do is we'll put this in first. Just be crazy. Just be careful because this CA glue cannot go inside the button. So we're going to just take a little bit. Just put a drop. Yeah, you don't need much. Drop. Put it right toward the thing, just like that. It's okay if it goes on the threads, and then we're just going to stick this in here. Boom. See, now the button's glued in there, nice and solid. Just goes up to that part, like that. Right? Now let's see. And we'll push our little, that's another thing too, you can push this in here, and there we go. We can push that out as much as we want to. We can control it if we want to stick it out further or not. So that's it, that'll dry in there. All right, so that's what it looks like so far. Now, the button is glued in there, see? And then it has these little threads in the back too. We can screw that in when we have drilled the hole. So far we have that. Now we're going to put a tiny bit of glue just right there and drop it right on there. So let's try to do that really carefully. Let's stand up you. All right, let's put a drop here. You don't need much, remember, just that's about it. You don't even need more than that. If you want, you could always wipe it off and just put a dab on it. But remember, you got to have it so it goes straight down. So you don't want to get it on the side. So we'll go like this. Boom. I kind of just let it rest. I'll just hold it there, make sure it's moving. There we go. I keep doing it until it dries. That's it. So give it a couple minutes, it'll dry. That's it. Boom. We have the button done now. Now we can put wires in there. I'll show you what to do with that. And we're going to hook this to the step pad port to animate R2 from a restraining bolt. It's all dried already. Look at that, pretty cool. Just to show you, it's glued on there. Look at that. And it still presses. So it's really a hidden button. So that's really nice. I want to show you how I connect the wires real quick. We'll pick the common, which is here, the negative. Actually, it doesn't really matter. It's just a press button. So this is going to go here. This is going to go, there's a normally open. It says NO on it. And we're just going to put that on there like this. That's it. Wiggle it on there. Boom. That's all it is to wire it. Now, if you wanted to light up, like I said earlier, if you wanted it to light up a little red, whatever color button you choose, you would just put the 5 volts on here and here. That's it. So this would be 5 volts, and then this goes to the step pad port. That's how easy it is to wire. Okay, how do we get from here to the step pad port? Well, we need an audio cable, just like this, on both ends. That's it. That's what goes into the step pad port. Okay, but we can't just connect that directly. So as we did before, we plugged in our 2 wires, right? We have the middle one here, normally open, and the common. Put that in there, like that. I'd probably put some hot glue on here to make it stay permanent. That's it. But now we connect these 2 wires to one of these little screw-in adapters. And what does this do? This is just a female audio port. So, and it goes like this. Boom. That's all it is. And then this gets to the step pad. So let's install the button. Let's drill the hole, install the button, and then show you how it works.
And the goal is to put it right here. Now the problem is we tried to find the center and it was kind of difficult. So we figured why not just make a template for it, which is available on our Patreon.
And boom, there's your center. Make a mark right in the center.
To drill or not to drill, I choose to drill. 16 millimeters right here. We're gonna go right through here. I'm gonna hold it nice and steady. I have a little marker with tape so I know not to go so far. Go like that. Let's go a little slower. That's it. That's all. We got it. If you guys are afraid of drilling R2, don't worry about it. We're going to make him even look prettier. Boom, baby. How easy was that? Now we're going to take our little thread over there, and you can see it from behind. I'll thread it on over there, right there. I moved a box, like I told you earlier, I moved it up here, so I have all access to everything, so I can see everything. I have here's the power, I have the step pad port, volume, the LED mode for the lights, and then I can switch between motion, lights only, and sensor. Makes it very handy when everything's on the inside. But let's get this installed here. Thank you. Put that on there. We have our little wires. All these cables here. Okay. We have red, black underneath it. That's it. We have it connected to this. We'll just throw that in here. And this is the hard part. plug it in right there. Obviously, if this was on the bottom, if you didn't remove the base, this would be on the bottom and you just plug into your audio port. Okay, let's give it a try.